वो थोड़ा सा. Okay, the topic that we're going to study today is known as kidney transplant. And kidney transplant is done in a situation when the patient's kidney is under a chronic infection. Chronic infection. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of a chronic infection? जब हम कहते हैं chronic infection, जल्दी से बताइए message में, जल्दी से बताइए मुझे answer. When we say a chronic infection means, yes, do we have any answers in the message box? Chronic infection means we've got one answer. The disease that cannot be cured. Okay, we can say a chronic disease is a disease that has been with a person for a very, very long time without uska cure. Yeah, if it is cured for some time, it comes back again. That is known as a chronic disease. Acute disease is that one that can be cured and you can get the remedy of the acute disease. Now, in kidney transplant, what do we do? Note down everything. You don't have this detail in your book. We replace the damaged or destroyed kidney. We replace the damaged kidney, and it is usually done in patients with end-stage renal failure. I told you people about this. End-stage renal failure. End-stage renal failure means that kidneys have stopped all kind of functioning. Kidney transplant is done when the kidney have reached the end-stage renal failure, and this transplant is done in order to replace the damaged or the worn out tissue. Kidney transplant is mainly carried out in the case where the patient has been facing a chronic infection, and a chronic infection, I have told you people, is an infection that has been with the patient for a very long time, and if you try to cure it, it doesn't go back permanently. Okay? So kidney transplant में, like जैसे कि हमारे blood donation में, we need a match. We need a compatibility. What do we mean by compatibility? When I say compatibility, so what do we mean by compatibility? जब हम कहते हैं ना compatible, blood donation में the blood should match, the blood should be compatible. What do we mean when we say that something should be compatible? Now, a kidney transplant is actually an organ transplant, and you cannot just, this is known as organ transplant. Okay? The kidney transplant is known as the organ transplant. We cannot just fit the kidney anyhow, anywhere in the body without verifying the nature of the kidney, nature of the tissue that we are going to transplant. Can anybody tell me what is meant by compatibility? Can I get some answers from you people? Compatibility means matching, understanding. जब कहते हैं ना कि दो friends में compatibility है, तो it means matching. इसका मतलब होता है match हो रहा है, match कर रहा है. They will not react. They will not repel each other. They will not repel each other. They will not react with each other. They will match with each other, and they will stay with each other in harmony. हार्मनी का मतलब होता है सही तरीके से एक साथ वो रह सकते हैं. ठीक है? Kidney transplant, if it is not matching, if we do an organ transplant, mainly we are studying about kidney transplant, हमारे पास liver transplant भी होता है, तो अगर हम organ transplant कर रहे हैं and if it is not matching, then a very serious situation arises, and that situation is known as tissue rejection. Write it down. I will tell you what tissue rejection is. That is known as tissue rejection. It is known as tissue rejection. Okay? And for this situation now, to prevent tissue rejection, the patients that have undergone a kidney transplant, बहुत ध्यान से सुनिए, to avoid tissue rejection, the patients that have undergone a kidney transplant, they have to be given immunosuppressive drugs. Immunosuppressive drugs, before I tell you what immunosuppressive drugs are, can anybody give me an idea of what comes to your mind when I say immunosuppressive drug? Can anybody give me an idea what comes to your mind when I say immunosuppressive drug? Yes, I need answers quickly. Second year, please give me answers quickly. I cannot wait so long for your answers. Immunosuppressive drug. What is meant by immunosuppressive drug? Yes, I have got an answer. No, it doesn't enhance the immune system. Anybody else? Somebody has said it enhances the immune system. It doesn't enhance the immune system. Now, in our immune system, when our immune system starts to misbehave inside our body, remember this word, when the immune system starts to misbehave inside the body, then an immune disorder is started, which is called the autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder. Yaad rakhiye is baat ko. When the immune system starts to misbehave, when the immune system starts to work against your own body, then what does it do? The misbehavior of the immune system, the reaction of the immune system with your own body is called autoimmune disorder. It is known as autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder means some common diseases of autoimmune disorder are arthritis. Arthritis is a case of autoimmune disorder, a very common case of autoimmune disorder in which your immune system starts to attack the cartilages that are present between the joints. Note करें इन चीजों को. These things are very important for your entry exam, beta. Now, यहाँ पर immunosuppressive drugs क्या हैं? Immunosuppressive drugs are those drugs that are given to the patient to stop the immune system from reacting to the new organ that has been transplanted into the body, to stop the organ from being rejected by the body because the immune system always reacts to any kind of foreign material, and a whole new organ inside the body, it might activate the immune system. So to suppress the immune system, special drugs are given to all patients that are given the tissue transplant, that are given the kidney transplant. And the most common drug that is given to patients is cyclosporine. Cyclosporine is a very strong drug, and it is mainly given in kidney transplant because there is a very high percentage of tissue rejection in the case of kidney transplant. But once the kidney transplant is successful, the patient can live up to 5 to 20 years. He can live a healthy life without any problem, but the patient will have to continue the doses of cyclosporine. Yaad rakhiye is baat ko. The patient will have to keep the doses of cyclosporine because anytime the immune system can start to react to the transplant that is present over there. I told you yesterday, where is the kidney placed? The kidney is placed in the abdominal cavity. It is not necessary to remove the old kidneys. Only in that case, the old kidneys, they are infected or they have a chronic recurrent disease taking place in them, or they have a case of high blood pressure, उनको निकाला जाता है. Varna, most of the time, kidney jo hai, your own kidney is left in place. Okay? And behind the bladder in the abdominal cavity, the new kidney is attached. Where is it placed? It is placed in the abdominal cavity. The new kidney is placed in the abdominal cavity. It is attached to the femoral artery. It is attached to the femoral artery. Okay? Now, let me come to the next side of the board now. The next side of the board, ये यहाँ. ठीक है. अच्छा जी, अब हम ये देखते हैं कि डोनर रेसिपिएंट मैच कैसा होता है. ये नोट कीजिए, चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. आपकी बुक में नहीं है, लेकिन आपको ये नोट करना है. डोनर रेसिपिएंट मैच. डोनर रेसिपिएंट मैच में I told you 3 things yesterday. कि जो डॉक्टर हैं, they look into three things, three main conditions before अपना carrying out the donation. First of all, the match of the blood type. Okay, what type of blood group do you have? The match of the blood type. ठीक है, the match of the blood type हो गया. Okay, blood type is the same. ठीक है, no problem, blood type is the same. Then the next condition, the match of the blood type. Now the next condition is the HLAs. HLAs जो है ना, HLAs जो है ना, वो क्या होते हैं? HLAs जो है वो ल्यूकोसाइट्स होते हैं, व्हाइट ब्लड सेल्स होते हैं, जिनकी मैचिंग हम देखते हैं. ठीक है, HLAs जो हैं, they are leukocytes, they are white blood cells, they are human leukocyte antigens. लिखिए इस बात को, human leukocyte antigens. They are human leukocyte antigens. ये human leukocyte antigens जो हैं HLAs, these are actually proteins that are present on the surface of the white blood cells. They are proteins that are present on the surface of the white blood cells. These HLAs total कितने होते हैं? 6 होते हैं, जिसमें से at least 3 have to match with the recipient and the donor. ठीक है, every patient has 6 HLAs, and the more HLAs that match between the donor and the recipient, the higher that the likelihood that the recipient's body will accept the kidney of the donor. ठीक है, अब तीसरी बात जो है, the donor's blood must not initiate an antibody response to the recipient's blood. मतलब जो मैंने आपको बात बताई है कि यहाँ पर आपके पास जो है ऑटो इम्यून डिसऑर्डर नहीं बनेगा. ऑटो इम्यून डिसऑर्डर नहीं होगा का मतलब ये है कि इम्यून सिस्टम का जो रिएक्शन है, इट इज गोइंग टू बी ऑलमोस्ट निल. इट मस्ट बी ऑलमोस्ट निल. एंड उसको चेक करने का तरीका क्या है? नेगेटिव क्रॉस जो है वो करवाया जाता है, जिसमें कि इम्यून सिस्टम्स जो हैं उनका क्रॉस करके उसको मैच किया जाएगा. एंड उसके रिजल्ट्स के हिसाब से जो है, बाय मिक्सिंग द ब्लड सैंपल्स इन द टेस्ट ट्यूब, अगर क्लॉटिंग हो रही है फिर क्या होगा कि इट मींस दैट इट इज नॉट कंपैटिबल. अगर क्लॉटिंग नहीं हो रही, देन इट मींस कि इट इज कंपैटिबल. ठीक है, इसमें रिस्क ये है बेटा कि एक तो ये है कि बिकॉज द किडनी इज एक्सपोज्ड, तो उसका डैमेज के चांसेस हैं. आवर नेचुरल किडनीज जो हैं वो क्या है, उसमें दे आर प्रेजेंट नियर द रिब केज, सो देयर इज अ काइंड ऑफ अ प्रोटेक्शन. दूसरी बात ये है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल दे हैव टू टेक द मेडिसिन, बिकॉज if they do not take the medicine, they can the immune system can react anytime. And then the post-operative bleeding and post-operative infections and post-operative pains, ye iske after effects hai. Now let me go back to the presentation beta, and in the presentation I will show you people the slides, and then we will go to the next topic. And if you have any questions, kindly drop your questions in the message box immediately. And for those people that will be on YouTube, you people can drop the questions in the comment section for me, so that I can answer your questions. Okay, now let us go back to the kidney transplant, one of the last topics of this chapter, and then we will discuss the last topic, which is thermoregulation. Let me see how much kidney transplant we can cover today. Kidney transplant. ठीक है, in most cases the barely functioning existing kidneys are not removed. Look here, the kidneys are not removed, as removal has shown to increase the rates of surgical morbidity. Morbidity का मतलब death, morbidity का मतलब complications. Therefore, the kidney is usually placed in a location different from the original location. This is where the new kidney is placed. ठीक है, in the iliac fossa, but it is not protected over here. यहाँ पर the kidneys are protected by the rib cage. So it is often, and then here the blood supply I have told you people is with the femoral artery. The kidney transplant requirements, the donor has to be compatible. The kidney must match in 3 ways. It must have the same blood group. It must have the same human leukocyte antigens, which are proteins that are present on the leukocytes. 6 HLAs are present in humans, and more HLAs matching, more compatibility chances. Then negative match clause is checked. This is the immune system test to see if the immune systems, they react with each other or not. Then the risks and complications of this procedure, 2 main problems are, first of all, rejection and then cyclosporine toxicity. We have already discussed this. Cyclosporine and steroid doses are to be taken permanently. In case otherwise, if you do not take them permanently, rejection can take place. Other problems include bleeding, post-operative infection. The transplanted kidney is vulnerable to trauma and injury because it is not present in a protected cage. This is the next topic that we will be studying. This is thermoregulation. And so far we are done with the kidney transplant. If there is any question, you can give me the question right now so that I can answer your questions.